It takes approximately 37 minutes on the KTX from Seoul to Cheonan. At top speed, this 50-something mile journey, you're traveling at like 301 kilometers per hour, and that's 187 miles per hour to plebeians like myself who have to Google everything that's metric because you grew up in a literal imperial-based society. Anyway, here's something you guys don't know about me. If you want me to fall asleep ever, just put me in a moving vehicle for a little while and I will start to feel drowsy. This, as you can imagine, sucks when you have to drive for a long time. I make so many stops when I drive for longer than an hour. My parents should have thought of that when they drove me around the block 6 or 7 times to get me to take a nap when I was a baby. So here I am on one of the fastest trains in the entire world, and I have just walked around Seoul for 4 or 5 hours. I'm tired, and Seoul, if you didn't know, is largely comprised of up and down. Hills and buildings, stairs and escalators and subways and pavement and boats and bridges, ups and downs, overs and unders. I am tired. And then I get into my cushy seat and the train starts rolling south back home and I almost immediately want to fall asleep. But I can't do that because it's only 37 minutes until I get home, and I don't want to miss my stop because the next one isn't until Osong or Daejeon, and that is so far away that I just don't even want to deal with getting back on the return trip. Man, you should have seen me the one time I accidentally booked myself first class and had leg room to stretch out and a reclining seat, like a really good reclining seat, not just the adjustable one that you get in economy they try to pass off as reclining. Anyway, as I sit in my comfortable chair, finally sitting after all of the ups and downs and hills of Seoul, it strikes me how unremarkable travel can get. Like, every so often, I have one of those out-of-body realizations where I'm like, holy shit, I'm in Korea and I'm teaching these children to speak their second language, and when push comes to shove, they're actually really good at it. They're not perfect, but like, they can get their point across when they really need to. But more importantly, I am living in another country. I am 7,000 miles away from anyone I knew before coming here. Okay, that part's a lie. I'm actually only a little over 700 miles away from anyone like that, but those friends are still in Japan, and I'm still in Korea, so we are all very, very, very far away from home, and what even is my life? But that's normal. Like, it's just so normal for me not to have much of a clue of what's going on around me. I recognize a lot of Korean words now, but not enough to put together a passable sentence or even a complete idea of what's happening. I use a lot of context to figure out what's happening. And it's really weird when I hear other people speak English now, because I just hyper-focus on them. Like, it's so weird and out of place, and it's not normal for me, at least on the street. In the classroom is a different deal. Even in Seoul, before this train ride home, I was just like, oh, I'm in Seoul, one of the largest metropolitan areas in the entire world. And that was both weird, but also one of those things that I kind of just mentally shrugged at and went, okay, cool, that's normal, moving on. When are we gonna eat? Because I'm starving and you guys made me walk past the Greek place without buying a skewer and I hate everything and I'm so hungry and can we just please stop and get something? The extraordinary becomes ordinary, and that is the weirdest part about it. No, the weirdest part about it is when people from back home ask me what it's like here, and I'm just like, it's like everywhere else. Because it is. I order pizza, or I go down to a Korean barbecue shop. I go shopping, I go and get groceries, I walk around and eat street food, I go get my hair cut. I go window shopping, I go to work, I come home, I make dinner, I watch TV. Every Monday I go to my coworker's apartment and we all watch Game of Thrones together, and then Rob gets really mad if Ivan or I start to mention a spoiler because we're the only ones who have read the books. It's all regular stuff that I might do back in the United States. And that's kind of the bottom line about my time here. I might not like everything about it, and I'm definitely not putting down any permanent roots, but in its own way, it's normal, it's commonplace, it's usual. So as my 37 minutes on the KTX comes to a close and I get off the train, I can think with reasonable certainty that I have made it back home.